Hello, guys. Welcome to another community call. This is Wednesday, 27th of September. And well, I guess it's a bear market community call. This is, yeah, I mean, you can tell because of typically the people that come. And you know something, at some point in the future, the POAPs that you get into this bear market calls are going to be way more valuable, because when you are here in the bad times, then you shall be rewarded in the future. So it's good to see you here. And well, as you know, for Kleros, there is no bear market because building still continues. Very interesting piece of news for this week, that we are deploying very soon, or have we deployed already, Jean, the new version of the DevNet of the V2?
I don't think we're going to do. Yeah, I think I don't think so. At least a couple of hours ago, it was not deployed yet, but it's coming very soon.
It's coming. So as you know, 2 months ago, or even less, maybe, we launched a DevNet and for V2 with lots of different improvements regarding game theory, regarding deployment and rollout, everything that you already know, and I don't want to go again on this because you know it. And there is the blog post that Jean is for sure going to share now about the vision and what V2 means. So we spent the first month and a half gathering feedback from different people that tried it, and now we developed a number of improvements that we are going to deploy very soon. And these are basically mostly are like user interface improvements, and also notifications were not working when we launched because we just didn't want to delay just to wait for notifications. This is going to be done in this new release. So most of our development work was employed into building putting together this very big pull request that we are going to implement soon. So that's very big news from the point of view of development. I have been, in my personal work this week, lots of my time was used mostly in researching and having some conversations on potential uses of Kleros in the context of intellectual property disputes. So lots of the things, lots of disputes happening on the internet, and this will be more prevalent when Web3 even becomes larger, are related to different IP situations. Like some guy, steals image of another one and then mints an NFT and then sells this on a NFT marketplace, and now there's a dispute. I mean, you sold my image and you sold it, and now I want my money because that was my work. And, you can imagine that kind of situations. And lots of situations where there is like plagiarism and things like that. So as you know, we have been targeting use cases in IP for a long time now. You might remember, for example, the NFT registry that we started to develop, where you could use a mechanism similar to tokens to certify NFTs that comply with a number of conditions, like, for example, not being scams, not being plagiarized, not being stolen or whatever. So this is an idea that we have not yet implemented, but that is very relevant to the future of IP. And there is my talk at UTC. I gave this talk, I think it was 2 years ago. So when I actually described that particular use case, And now what we are seeing is a very important trend coming that is going to involve, the use of AI. As you know, these generative AI tools that produce texts, produce images, and produce different, contents or assets, they basically, what they do is they just take pieces of stuff from different authors and they combine this in a way that, it produces a different piece. And we are starting to see many, legal cases where writers are suing ChatGPT, not ChatGPT, OpenAI, because of a copyright infringement, because OpenAI took some work from them and used this to produce another thing, and now the author or the artist in general claims that they should be paid because they are using their work. So this is so I have been researching a lot about that and having conversations with the experts in this matter. This is potentially going to be a growing use case for us. We have been, as you know, already researching interfaces between AI and Kleros for a number of different situations, in content moderation, and just this week I also submitted an article I was asked to write by the American Bar Association about how we can try to prevent AI to become like a big problem. That article I took a different approach. It was not about the IP. It was more like about like predictive. There is this thing called predictive policing that they use data to predict where there's going to be crime or to predict if some. In this case, it was the case of police department in the UK called I think the city was Durham, and they used AI tool to predict if some a person that was suspect of a crime would potentially reoffend in the next 2 years. So if they thought it would reoffend, then they kept the person in jail. If they thought it was unlikely to reoffend, they released him, right? So what happened is that these algorithms can be biased, and especially since you can maybe use variables like the residence of the person, and some there could be different situations where just because someone is born or lives in a poor neighborhood, it's like profiled as a potentially higher chance of reoffending, and then is kept in jail unfairly. So and this added to the fact that AI and deep learning tools, they don't really explain their decisions. They just they make a decision based on their on the algorithm, and they don't give you an explanation of why. So we think Kleros can potentially be also a tool to try to correct these different biases that could exist in this type of situations, right? So cannot say much, but I can, but I don't want to spoil the article because I already submitted this, and this is going to be published in the November newsletter of the American Bar Association. So if you are in the Bar Association, you can read that. If not, I think, we can publish this in our blog. Hopefully they will let us. Okay, so this is another thing, and I will let William give his update, and I will have some matter in the meantime, and then I will continue.
Sure. So I spent some time thinking about SPTs and how they can be used in short of juror waiting. So as I probably mentioned in the previous call, these extend some ideas that I discussed in my DevCon talk from last fall that I sort of now have time to get back to, of the idea of how if we have some collection of users that each have some set of SPTs that test to different kinds of expertise they have, different kinds of communities they're in, how you can use those to try to like disproportionately draw jurors so that you'll have a panel with like lots of different sets of expertise and have jurors that are sort of like reflect different points of view. And I'm trying to adapt ideas that the people that are interested in sort of quadratic funding and improving to the quadratic funding sort of protocols, you know, Glenn Weil and sort of his circle of people have like spent a lot of time thinking about how to adapt like spectral clustering using like eigenvectors to like create better quadratic funding mechanisms that kind of pull out what kind of groups of people exist implicitly based on the SPTs they have, and then like try to adapt like their thing and see if it makes sense for Kleros. So that's still a work in progress. It might make sense for Kleros. I don't have a definitive answer yet, but you know, at some point in the future, hopefully we'll read a blog article where I discuss this, you know, and then maybe in like even further future, it will be a module for V2 of the court where like this can be used as one of the mechanisms you use to draw jurors. Other than that, there's an update one of the community members made to change one of the parameters in the Gnosis chain curation court. So it's cool. People that aren't me or, you know, being more involved in the parameter update process. You know, sort of the updated value seems reasonable to me. So, and like, so people should, you know, vote and, you know, look at the proposal and, you know, consider it and vote accordingly.
Yes, please, guys. I mean, we need more people to be involved in parameter setting because, I mean, the more, as Total said, you know, the more people involved in decision making, you know, the better decisions. So feel free to, I mean, if you are mathematically oriented, of course, I mean, I'm definitely not smart enough to make comments on parameters, but I mean, I'm sure you can read the article that Jean is going to share now for sure about how we think of parameters and how we define them. And yeah, that would be of great help to William to make better parameters, and this will make the court, I mean, more efficient and also more secure. So yeah, help William with that. And then we have the big thing that it was already discussed last week about the MetaMask Snap, which is having lots of interest and working really well, and it's part of this Kleros work on curation in order to secure a number of assets that happen that exist in Web3. Like we started, the first time we did this was in 2019 with the launch of tokens and the curated list of crypto assets that was intended to root out, you know, malicious submission, malicious tokens, and then the address tag. And so this is one new step into making Kleros a very big tool, what I would call, you know, private compliance, if you want. As you know, when the London Stock Exchange started, it was there was no government regulating trading activities. It was the community of traders who self-regulated through a quite complex, but not that complex. Actually, it was way simpler than what exists now, as you know, financial regulation. And they used to meet in a cafe, and if you were a scammer, people just kick you out of the cafe, and you could not trade anymore. So this kind of it was like kind of the first like a situation where private governance was helping into financial markets. And if you are interested in this topic, you can read the excellent book Private Governance by Edward Stringham. I hope I will have this professor in my podcast maybe at some point in the future. I know, Jean, maybe you want to comment a bit more about the snaps and Scout and all that.
Yes, we have the recording. We had the Twitter Spaces last Friday with Chris Montoya. He is the product manager of MetaMask Snaps, and he presented a little bit the reasoning behind it and the vision for it, and also some updates that will make it more powerful. For example, to they will in the future accept images and also links, which are very useful, will be very useful to our extension, since we don't have, for example, a link to Kleros, to Kleros Curate, where you can add a token or a tag that is not tagged yet. So yeah, it was very nice to have this conversation directly with him, and also to have his followers exposed to Kleros. He also made a thread about the other snaps that are related to security and transaction insights, and mentioned Kleros there. And yeah, I think that's one of the things. Another update is that the incentive program for the month of September will be shared in a couple of days. So right now submission will not be rewarded, but we got submissions on on 4 different chains, and there's still I believe that the submissions will be rewarded. We'll have a decent reward for each one, so it's an opportunity for the next month to make submissions if you listen to this, because it might be worth your time. And also, I'm not sure if I don't have an example right now, but we resumed our conversations with MetaMask, with Etherscan, and we are now not only on Etherscan, we are also on Polygon Scan and BS Scan, the Binance Smart Chain block explorer, so you can see the Kleros tags on those platforms. So that's nice, because one of the reasons for the migrated registries is to get submissions from different networks. So yeah, I don't know if maybe Marcos have more info about that.
Yeah, Marcos, you want to say something?
Sorry, I was checking when I was mute. So yes, well, first the updates from the BD side. We have some updates, mostly from the Curate product, where we have 2 projects that are interested in working with Curate. The first one is Web3 Antivirus. That is a browser security extension project that is now looking into incorporating data from Curate into their solution. And then we have what was Jean mentioning, that is MetaMask, that wants Curate to create a new product, where I don't know if we can say something about this already, but we're going to be working in this new product for MetaMask, and we're going to have some updates.
No, not yet. No, okay. Stop you right
there. Okay. Well, that's the most important things about integrations. And then about events and dates, we have been invited into Insurance B2 launch space next Tuesday, where we get to briefly introduce Kleros to their community. So the ones that are interested, you can be part of the next Twitter Spaces with Insurance again next Tuesday.
Awesome, thank you. So then we have the bootcamp application process is finishing very soon. I think we extended it for 1 week, as we had quite some people interested that had not the time to apply. So that's something. If you are building a Web3, app or project, you feel free to apply. You can take a number of classes with us, different members of the team. We will teach you what we learned, the hard way, by making, of course, mistakes. When we started with Kleros, it was 2017. Imagine everything we learned in the past, and now you don't have to make the mistakes we did, because you can apply to the bootcamp and just hear our stories, and we will help you with strategy. We will help you with crypto economics. We will help you with the marketing. We will help you to, do your mechanism design, smart contracts, etc. So if you want to apply, it's open. Then we also launched the 7th batch of the fellowship, which is quite impressive. 7th. How many people came to Kleros to do research about different topics? And for this edition, what we are trying to do, there's a number of tracks that they change depending on what we consider that deserves more research at the moment. So now we are focusing in prediction market, we are focusing in content moderation, we are focusing on AI and Kleros, as I mentioned before. We are focusing on governance and constitutions for DAOs. You can read the post and see there's a bunch more. So if you are into research and you want to, make a contribution to this fascinating field of decentralized justice, you can be part of the fellowship. And, it might open doors for you because, guys, now we have 2 of our members of the research team are going to do some research stays at very important, universities. Jamilia is going to go to Hong Kong University, and she's going to spend 1 month there doing research. And Jan is going to go to this little place in the West Coast called Stanford, in particular to the Codex Center of Legal Informatics, and he's going to spend 6 months there researching different aspects about Kleros. So it's amazing that people from our research team are accepted into those very high quality places. That's really, it's an honor for all of us who work here. So we have that. And I don't know if I'm forgetting something, probably yes. As I get older, I forget more things. No, I'm fine, don't worry. I see Shotaro is here. Do you have anything about Suzy you want to mention? Or okay, that's okay, no problem.
I have one update about Suzy with Jan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Shotaro opened his mic. So, but I'll just go ahead and we introduced Suzy to a community, Spanish-speaking community, and they already made 1 test dispute. And now, if there are Spanish-speaking jurors listening, we need more jurors in the Spanish court. I will be also, of course, sharing this message in the Spanish-speaking groups. But yes, and we're looking forward to do this on other groups that we are friends with.
William, you speak Spanish. You can go to one of the courts moderates.
Un poco.
Puedo
entender.
Maybe the French one.
Yeah. I could properly do the French, moderation disputes.
Specifically, it's the Spanish Curation Court. So it's a subcourt of the Spanish General Court. So in the Spanish General Court, there's sufficient amount of jurors. But yeah, if anyone on this call is a Spanish speaker, please consider to stake in the Spanish Curation Court. There may be more disputes in the future as we introduce Suzy in more Telegram groups. But yeah, most of the updates here is that just updating Suzy's backend and as well as Hermes. So nothing too interesting for new features or anything, but just improving code quality, reducing technical debt, migrating the database. So just some backend things, but to make Suzy easier to maintain and to be more robust. But that's pretty much it.
Cool, thank you. The last thing I maybe worth mentioning is we are moving forward with the recruitment. As you know, we are all of the things I just mentioned. This requires some developers. So we are like this since last week, going way faster than before. We had like a bottleneck in the recruitment process, in the reviewing of applications. Now it's solved, so we are reviewing way more people. And so if you are if you want to apply to any of the positions we have open, feel free. We have this week been doing a bunch of also interviews with different people who apply to different open positions we have. Oh, well, I guess that's it for today, guys. Thank you all for coming, and well, see you on Telegram, the Kleros Republic Telegram. Bye, guys.
Vote. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.